Without a doubt, the biggest, the meanest, the chonkiest brawler in the game is Frank. He has a hammer the size of a Volkswagen, a jawline that would make any Chad jealous, and I'm pretty sure he's friends with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg!
Just don't question it. Now, with all this going for him, you think that he would easily be able to beat every single brawler in the game, but he has one major flaw. He's a wimp.
I am not a weenie.
Yeah, you heard me right. This undead monster is a total wuss. Why else would half the brawlers in the game be able to stop him from using his so-called ultimate ability? It's all a facade. In reality, he's just there to feed the other team their supers, which they will in turn use to interrupt his best move. Oh, what's that? What about his gadget? Yeah, he may be big, muscle-bound, good with the ladies, and a prodigy on the turntables, but underneath that tough exterior lies a scared little boy. It's Frank. He's a wimp.
Weenie Hut General.
So here's the playbook for Leon once the match starts. You run up, you get behind some cover. You run right, you spam some shots, and then you wait. And then you run left, and you spam more shots, and then you wait again. You repeat this process until you get your super. Once you do, you run into a bush and use your super. Then you sneak up and kill the brawler that's furthest away from the pack. That's it! Congrats! You just won Brawl Stars. That is, unless you're on my team, because I always seem to get that one Leon that is legit the worst ninja assassin of all time. He could go around the side or get them when they least expect it, but oh no, not my Leon. My Leon will go invisible in the middle of the map and never make it to the other side. Or he just panic uses his super just to shoot 1 second later, because that's useful. The other team's Leon, however, is like Naruto's Sage mode, just popping that Shadow Clone Jutsu and destroying you. My Leon? Well, he's more like Sakura. So please, can the other team's Leon just play with me? Someone save me from my Leon, who has to be the derpiest ninja of all time. Nida has never been the most flashy of brawlers. She doesn't have the speed of Mortis, or the range of Piper, or even the amazing voice lines of Spike. But she's always been a decent brawler, with one caveat. She's mean to her pets. You know what I'm talking about. She could drop down Bruce and charge into battle with him. Heck, he doesn't even mind taking the brunt of the damage just to keep you safe, but instead, she will always find the one brawler on the field that will absolutely decimate her spawn and drop him right in their lap. Now, your team could have used that cover and the distraction, but he was vaporized in an instant thanks to that little insane girl in a bear outfit. Listen, all I'm saying is that somebody needs to get animal protection over here ASAP. Stop the Bruce abuse. If you've seen this happening, be sure to call 1-888-WHY-NIDA to report Bruce abuse. Now, there are a lot of really skillful brawlers in Brawl Stars, ones that make you play just right to get the best out of them. However, Jackie, yeah, she's not one of them. When the only reason to aim is just to see a slightly larger circle around yourself, you know you're scraping the bottom of the skill barrel. I'll break it down for you. To play Jackie, all you need to do is find the nearest wall and stand behind it. Now, if you're lucky, the other team is completely clueless, but if not, well, that's okay too. You just keep hanging out there like the menace to society that you are, because eventually they're gonna either have to try to go past you or get close enough for you to use your gadget and end them. And when that happens, they'll spin on you just to emphasize how skillful they are. Eventually, they will auto-aim their way all the way to rank 35 and then pat themselves on the back for the insane skill that they possess. So GG's, Jackie, for being the most skillful brawler in Brawl Stars. You may not see him, but oh, he sees you. Somewhere, lurking in the bushes, he is quietly waiting and waiting and waiting, because he won't do a single thing until he gets his dang super. And that is literally every buzz ever. It doesn't even matter if his team is getting absolutely wrecked. It's as if he is physically incapable of helping until that magical circle appears. But when it does, he will 100% destroy you. That is, unless he misses, which in case it's back to being the creepiest voyeur in Brawl Stars. Now, every brawler has a secret that they don't want you to know, like how Byron is a double agent, or how Bull is secretly a BTS fan, but there's one brawler who has a physical impairment that you may not know about. Now, you've all seen her in Showdown. I mean, it's pretty obvious she's there because there's like a lone green patch of grass in the middle of nowhere. All the other grass is dried up, but that one square of green foliage just sticks out like a sore thumb. We all know that you're there, Rosa. You can come out now. And every time someone shoots at her in the grass, she's surprised. It's not an act either. She genuinely can't figure it out. You see, she's been under the impression that she is just the worst hide-and-seek player of all time, but that ain't it. She thinks she's blending in with her surroundings like a chameleon, but we're all laughing at you, Rosa, because you haven't figured out yet that you're colorblind. Now, Sprout is the one brawler who was literally made to troll your own teammates. We've all met him in a match. That one player who decides that winning the game is completely irrelevant. They only have one real goal: to troll whatever unsuspecting random that ends up on their team. I mean, why would they help score a goal when they could just as easily send you into a rage? Now, you know when you meet that special breed because they can barely hit their shots, all they do is spam angry pins, and they can never use their walls correctly. However, when it comes down to making you lose your mind, oh, they are masters at their craft. Trap you on the wrong side of a wall? Easy. Stop you from getting a kill in an instant. Block you from a wide open goal every single time. So tread lightly, fellow brawlers, because the rolling troll is waiting for you. And let's be real, he'll find you and he will torment you with his infinite walls. What is it about that totem? I mean, sure, I know it gives you your super, but is it more important than getting off to a strong start, hoping your teammate, or even opening a box? Now, the obvious answer is no, but every time you go into some duos and your teammate is a bow, you know what's about to happen. He's going to find a patch of grass, he's going to plant that totem, and he's gonna wait. And why do they always put it in grass? It's not like we don't know you're there. We can all see the totem bow, and then when that totem inevitably gets shot by someone else, instead of fighting back, he will simply run further away, find more grass, and yeah, you guessed it, another totem. So you're basically playing solo duos until Bo gets his super, which he will then throw down in some ridiculous spot, and then, oh boy, another totem. Now, by the time he's used all of his totems, you'll either be dead or in such a deficit that there's no way that you're winning. So thanks. Thanks for nothing, Bo. Now, there's one brawler that runs his mouth more than any other one, and that's Brock. He's just always taunting other players with his voice lines.
Woo! Take the L.
But I'm here to tell you that Brock is all bark and no bite.
Nerfed.
Next time that you're in a match against Brock and he's hitting some shots, he seems like he's doing pretty good, just jump out and surprise him, and he will inevitably freak out and use his super straight up into the air.
I was lagging.
It literally would be better to spam your shots like Jackie, but he gets so scared that he wastes his super only to fire off a couple of rockets into the sky before dying.
You're so lucky.
And now I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure he wet himself too.
The box goes boom.
And every time he does this, he always has some excuses too.
You're
you
so
were lucky.
I was lagging.
He
Brock
got
got
nerfed.
nerfed.
You know what? Whatever, Brock. The cat's out of the bag, and that cat is you. So, I've got a question. Why is Colonel Ruff such a selfish jerk? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. This space dog has one of the most team-empowering supers in the game. But every time he gets it, instead of helping his fellow comrades out, what does he do? He throws it at the enemy team. Why? You know it's not gonna hit him, but he just has to try to get that kill so that he can be the star. Of course, they're just gonna move out of the way and watch it crash to the ground, and then you have to sit there looking at that floating reminder of his selfishness, knowing that if you try to go get it, you're just gonna die. Like, dude, we're right here. Just help us out and we can win this together, or not.